Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and dark forests, there lived a young girl named Amina. She was kind, gentle, and full of life. Amina lived with her father, a humble woodcutter. Her mother had passed away when she was very young, leaving her father to raise her alone. For years, they lived in peace, surrounded by the warmth of their small home. However, everything changed when Amina's father remarried. Her new stepmother, Fatima, was beautiful but cruel-hearted. She envied Amina's beauty, her innocence, and the love her father showered upon her. Fatima was determined to make Amina's life miserable. The moment her father left for work each day, Fatima's true nature surfaced. She would pile endless chores on Amina, forcing her to scrub the floors, clean the dishes, and fetch water from the well far outside the village. While Fatima's own daughter, Hafsa, would laze around, enjoying all the comforts of life, Amina was worked to the bone. If she dared complain or didn't complete her tasks perfectly, Fatima would lock her in a dark, cold room without food. Despite the cruelty, Amina never stopped being kind. She sang softly to herself while she worked, finding solace in the melody of her songs. She befriended the birds and animals in the forest, who seemed to sense her pain and would often sit beside her, chirping in sympathy. The village folk noticed Amina's sad eyes, but they could do nothing against her stepmother, who put on a facade of kindness in public. One day, Fatima devised an even more wicked plan. She sent Amina deep into the forest, claiming there were precious herbs that needed gathering. But Fatima's true intention was for Amina to get lost in the dark woods, never to return. The forest was dense, filled with towering trees and the whispers of unseen creatures. Amina wandered for hours, frightened and alone. Just as despair began to grip her heart, she came across a clearing bathed in golden light. In the center stood an ancient, gnarled tree with branches that twisted towards the sky. Underneath the tree sat a wise old woman, her hair silver as moonlight and her eyes bright with warmth. "Why do you cry, my child?" the old woman asked gently. Amina, with tears in her eyes, told her everything about her mother's passing, her cruel stepmother, and how she was sent to the forest to perish. The old woman listened silently, her gaze filled with understanding. "You have suffered much, dear one, but your kindness has not gone unnoticed," the woman said. With a wave of her hand, she summoned a breeze that encircled Amina. The air shimmered, and suddenly Amina's ragged clothes were transformed into a gown of pure silk. "You have a good heart, and it's time you were rewarded." The woman handed Amina a small golden key. "This key will lead you to a hidden treasure in your home. It holds the wealth your mother left for you, a wealth your stepmother has kept hidden. Use it wisely." When Amina returned home, her stepmother was furious that she had survived. Fatima screamed and raged, but Amina was no longer afraid. That night, while everyone slept, Amina took the key and unlocked a small wooden chest hidden beneath the floorboards of her late mother's room. Inside, she found gold coins, jewels, and a letter from her mother, telling her to be strong and brave. With her newfound wealth, Amina confronted her stepmother the next morning. "I know what you've done, and I won't let you hurt me any longer." Her voice was steady, filled with the courage she had always carried deep within. Seeing that her schemes had failed, Fatima's greed took over. She tried to snatch the treasure from Amina, but the moment her fingers touched the gold, it crumbled into dust. Fatima's cruelty and envy had destroyed her own fate. Realizing her power over Amina was gone, Fatima and Hafsa fled the village, never to be seen again. Free from their tyranny, Amina and her father lived in peace once more. The villagers, who had always admired Amina's resilience, showered her with kindness and love. Amina grew into a wise and respected woman, known for her generosity and warmth. Though she had faced great suffering, she never lost her gentle spirit, and her story became a tale told to children in the village, a story of how kindness, even in the darkest times, can lead to a brighter tomorrow. And so, Amina lived happily ever after, her heart forever strong, and her smile as radiant as the morning sun.